with Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Valley by Night River City, our Vampire 5th Edition actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Jeremy playing Egidio, Sarah playing Emma, and Eric playing Kyle. Who remembers what happened last time?
All kinds of fun stuff.
Camarilla.
Chaos. Mostly. A lot of chaos.
Met new and interesting people.
And this time you didn't kill them.
This time we didn't kill them.
I mean...
They also
all
didn't
of
try to
them.
kill us.
A fair exchange. And a fair exchange is no robbery. So yeah, so you started up in the midst of the carnage that you had unleashed the session before. We had a brief car chase before you made it into the Sherwood Oaks domain. That is run by... I remember his last name was Robbins. I don't remember his first name. Clint Robbins, that's right. But, so yeah, y'all kind of sheltered there for a minute. Received a call that, one of the other barons would like to speak with you. Specifically, I believe it was Paget. Maddock Paget. Though once you got there, August Hoffman showed up as well. Just a second, I gotta pull my notes up. All right. And there was some talking and some revealing of secrets. They weren't terribly happy. Well, Paget was not terribly happy about the violence getting kicked back up again. Though both of them admitted they knew that was something that was going to happen eventually. But effectively, since you've shown some ability to defend yourselves, they essentially offered you the area around the mall as a domain. This, in some places, this would be considered. This would be like, you know, a favor they were doing you. But in this case, it's nice, but it is also kind of putting a target on your head. You know, a target that might have already been on your head since you slaughtered an entire coterie of cams right next to one of their bases of power. They tend to frown on that.
Bit of a base of power if I could get by it and kill them and
Yeah.
How good of a base of power was it really?
I'm not saying we're going to pay for this, but
it's what the entire rest of the campaign is based on. No. But before that meeting could break up, there was a call that the sewer systems indicator were overflowing. And as this was happening, they were unable to get into contact with a NOS coterie that their territory was over and kind of where some of the worst of this flooding was. You know, I don't think Rat calls himself a baron, but the fellow in charge of this coterie is only known as Rat. A Nosferatu who's, uncreatively named after his deformity. After that, Emma did a little revealing but only to them, not to her friends.
I'm sure it'll come up at some point.
Both of them were surprised, but not the level of shock that like the Tremere fellow was from the previous session. I believe one of them actually went, "Another one?"
Gonna have to fumigate the place.
They're everywhere. And before we can go into more detail, I believe it was Paget that had said that. Before we can go into more detail, August had kind of shushed him. Talking like there was a secret involved that it wasn't really theirs to reveal. Let's see, and then I believe we had you... I believe all of you fell back and sort of took care of yourselves. Did some hunting, or maybe we went to the next day. Or next night. And we ended with several of you showing up at the dead man's drink. A whole lot of the kindred regulars of the bar were packed in there that night.
Like word got around or something.
Yes. And you know, a lot of the human regulars that actually make up the paying part of your clientele, or Kyle's clientele. They were there like normal. They were just walking and going, "Huh, a little busier than normal."
Yeah.
And I believe that is basically where we wrapped up. Let me jump y'all over here. Let me jump first to this map, or this overlay. This is basically your domain.
Ooh.
The southern border is made up of Presbyterian Drive and Danville Road. The eastern border is, of course, the Belt Line, which is one of the main roads at Indicator. Westmead makes up the western border, and kind of the northern border because it goes up and curves into the Belt Line.
We got a Waffle House in the domain, guys.
Yeah, I did not really notice that until today, and I thought about saying something, but I thought I'll wait and see how long it takes me to notice.
No, yeah.
3.2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Only because we didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the map, this whole slightly lighter area is, of course, the mall. Dead Man's Drink is over here. I've got you your own little restaurant token on the map now.
Hey.
Fancy.
There's not a whole lot of housing.
I was gonna say, I think my domain's still outside of the.
It is.
Yeah.
You see over here where it's got like Lancaster Avenue and Essex Drive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GDO is out. Your not domain, but Haven.
Haven.
Yeah, it's stashed out on one of those streets.
Okay.
Somewhere in this general area.
Cool.
You have a little cluster of houses up here, or apartment complexes and whatnot. And then running down Westmead, basically all the way down, you have houses up against the road, and then all of this between the road and the mall is wooded area. And then there's the Presbyterian Towers apartment complex down here, which I think Emma has done some hunting in before.
Yes. Also looks like we have a blood center.
Yes, there's a blood center there. There's a pediatrics place down here. There's a right here at the very, very corner. There's a fire department and something else medical. And up under all that bottom corner here is where Walter's Haven is.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that has been. I guess the question is this like the slice that they gave us a map and said this is yours, or how do the official borders work?
They mapped it by the roads.
Okay, they mapped it by the roads. Cool. That makes
You know.
sense. I just was figuring that out.
So like this area out here where your haven is,
Mhm.
that is previously
free
that was
ground.
part of the kind of open area. So it still is.
I think Egidio, maybe looking at his phone, is looking at all of the businesses within there, and sees a blood center. It's like, oh,
Yeah, there was also
Convenient.
some kind of medical place over here close to the restaurants, but I forget what it was.
probably one of those like what do you call them?
Dialysis.
Not dialysis. Oh, that would be hilarious. It's probably one of those
Mm.
urgent cares.
Yeah, like a minute clinic kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
If it becomes relevant, we'll look at it.
Yep.
But anyway, that is the map of your domain.
Interesting.
You've got a few hotels up at the north part.
So there is some hunting area.
Yeah, there's definitely some. Yes.
That's where Egidio's hurt is. The blood center.
Mm.
Heard.
Yeah. The thing I quite literally cannot have.
You're too scary.
Yeah.
But anyway, so y'all are all gathered over here at the dead man's hand.
Hey, Freebird again!
Yeah, it's already happened.
You see Egidio's like in the shadows somewhere, like air guitaring with the cane.
Mm-hmm.
Usually just palm or palm and face. Just
Hey, it's a time to celebrate.
Look, he's blending in with the drunks. It's fine.
Mm.
I mean, it's a little early in the evening to be acting as drunk as he is acting, but
could react that way to drunks too, so it works.
Okay. So anyway, people are flooding in. Several of the local kindred are hovering up close to you, like they clearly want to talk to you, but they're not just going to walk up and interrupt the song and draw attention.
Yeah. He's just
Hey.
gonna keep playing.
They clock as kindred, right? Like they immediately because we're kindred, we know they're kindred. Or is it one of those things where we've just seen them around?
Most of these folks you've just seen around.
Okay.
And if you know what to look for, you can notice that they keep sipping their drinks, but their drinks never go down, and that sort of thing.
I was just gonna say I could like activate heightened senses and be like, those
You
ones
don't have a heartbeat. You don't have a heartbeat.
Yeah.
No
I'm not
heartbeats
going
for
to
anybody.
because I'm not going to because there's music being played right now, and that's probably not a
I
great
just-
idea. But
I was getting the mental image of him going, and you don't have a heartbeat, and you don't have a heartbeat, and you don't have a heartbeat, and he just like pans back. There's a whole bunch of people with holes in their chests. You cannot sit there and tell me that's not something a Gidio wouldn't do.
probably would. We'll see.
Give it time.
Mm-hmm.
Emma's just gonna find like a seat at the bar or something and just kind of sit and wait it out.
Gidio's gonna go up and have like a $5 bill and put it like set up a hat and put a $5 bill there.
Dust
And
the
then
floor off first and then put the hat down.
Uh-huh. And then as he does it, he looks up at Kyle and is like, I think they want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Keeps playing.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably waits until closing then.
A few of the kindred wait around for longer than they usually would, but eventually kind of wander off with somebody. The ones that always come in here to kind of pick up lunch.
To go.
Yeah.
Order.
Yeah, Kyle's just gonna he's gonna play for a little while until like the usual crowd kind of thins out of not like the usual kind like
Mhm.
once they start leaving.
Yeah,
Or
you
once they
tend to have a dinner rush shortly after you open,
yeah.
and then it
And then
thins out a
another
little
one
bit.
after.
Yeah, once that dinner rush is over, which is kind of what he's playing for, then he's gonna put the guitar away and go back
Played,
behind the bar.
played Freebird 4 times.
He only plays it once.
It's
Crazy.
Blitzkrieg that impresses people.
Play Darude Sandstorm.
You knew you were a fucking nerd.
I'll say, don't tempt him. He'll do it.
I think in this time, if there are kindred, Egidio tries to be like a liaison, just like very gently, like tap tap, and then like motioning to take an area that's like off in the shadows somewhere.
There's a couple of booths that aren't being used. I believe there is a back room that can be like reserved. You know, like back when this was a pizza place. That's where you'd have like
Yeah.
the kid's birthday party or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kyle has mentioned that he had soundproofed all that stuff.
Yeah, he did.
And
Yeah, that back room is kind of his private meetings room.
I'll take however many of them are organized like together. Or do any of them show signs of like being like this is a coterie that it wants to be in, or is it just like individuals?
It's a lot of individuals. You have a few groups of maybe 3 or 4
Mhm.
that they usually kind of show up together. And
I'll walk over towards the back room and just kind of like make an appearance for the kindred to be like, if you guys want to talk, we can come back here. While Kyle is entertaining the rest of the guests.
Okay, you have a few of them kind of mosey back there. Give me. Let me pull up a character sheet. This would probably be wits and
Awareness.
awareness. Yes.
Right. Oh, I forgot I have my dice tray. It's like, where'd my dice go?
They're over there.
They're in your little coffin.
3, 4. Hunger dice. Wits, awareness.
Do you mind if I make that roll as well, just to see like who leaves while he's doing his thing?
Yes,
in
go
my
ahead.
main room.
I
Okay.
got. Oh wait, I'm back up to full. I got 1 success.
Okay. You notice one lady that's paying a lot of attention to you while you go around and talk to everybody.
Yeah.
You haven't seen her before.
Okay.
What'd you get, Kyle?
I got 3 successes.
Okay. You notice this woman too. She's watching the GDO walk around.
Mm-hmm.
With the cane, just like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't recognize her.
So she's not one of my regulars.
No.
Yeah, can I get in on this as well? Why not? Wits awareness.
Sure.
So what's
Oh, cool.
awareness?
I have no awareness. Great.
So that's specifically one of the things that I took points in. I got 6 dice in that total. Yeah, it's 2.
See
Ain't
her.
bad.
Now that we all see her.
Now that we've all clocked this lady.
Yeah.
So anyway, you see a GDO get up and start talking to the other regular kindred. You notice that. You notice this lady noticing that. Uh, Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
you had already clocked this lady as not a regular. Which, I
Yeah.
mean, you have new people drift in periodically. That's not super unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, she's kindred. She's been
Yeah.
nursing a drink that, she hasn't really been nursing.
Mm-hmm.
You also notice that while she's dressed like, it's like she's dressed to blend in with the folks that come here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Does it look a bit like awkward on her?
no,
Like she's
no,
not
she
used
no,
to
she
dressing
wears it
that way?
very well. It's just everything
Okay.
everything she's wearing is brand new.
Ah.
Like I said, it's not super noticeable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And like I said, she wears it well. I mean, she is blending in quite well. You just happen to notice that the shoes aren't scuffed at all. No, nothing is out of
A
place.
fucking narc.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a hat or any kind of scarf.
No.
Damn. Hope springs eternal, but not today.
So I'll
Mhm.
take I'll say 2 or 3 at a time, and head to the back and just be like, soundproofed room. And I'll be like, I'll say as much. I'll be like, you may speak freely. This is a soundproofed room. How may we help you?
We need to talk. And everybody starts talking at once because this is an
All right,
this
one
is
at
an
a
anarch
time.
meeting.
Start with you.
You just point randomly to somebody.
I point at, I'll say at the leftmost person. Just go Diablo style left. Take the left, every left.
All right. This guy seems a little nervous. What exactly happens to since your little gang is in charge now? What happens to those of us that usually come here to hunt?
No.
Uh,
I mean, within this domain, that doesn't change. You still speak with the proprietor.
and who exactly in your group is in charge? The person that came around and telling everybody wasn't real specific.
Kind of lead by democratic process.
Do we all get a vote?
No, just the coterie.
Oh,
Sorry, should have. I'm from Mexico, so it's. Never mind.
oh, so it's like a Greek democracy. Only the landowners.
Yes, but I assure you, things more or less are going to be about the same. I will personally ask if you are going to be within the domain that should the time come, and it will, for some sort of retribution, that we face it as a group, as a united anarch front.
Most of them just kind of nod their heads to that. It's not too unusual than how the free range area was set up anyway.
And from what I understand, again, haven't been here for too long. That is how things already were.
So if you're brand new and you ain't from around here, how have they already put you in charge of stuff? This is not the first guy you called him. This was somebody else.
Prove yourself dependable. Things kind of happen. Or you could say right.
Are you
place,
saying
right
I'm
time.
not dependable?
I don't know you. I don't know you personally. This is the American dream, right? You dig up by your bootstraps and you do your thing and you get noticed. Is that not how this works here?
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be, I guess.
Think of it as a meritocracy rather than a oligarchy.
So what is
Guys,
your
have
name?
any of you? My name is Ichidio Luna. You can call me Gil if it makes it easy.
He looks at you a little bit in surprise. Huh, that's my last name. No joke. Randomly rolled dude. Last name's Luna.
Amazing. May I have your name?
It's a small world.
His name is. He introduces himself as Elmer Luna.
Elmer, not the.
He tends to go by E for obvious reasons.
You go by E, go by Gil. Do you speak for these people? Are you all a coterie? Are you individuals?
E gestures to the two guys around.
Is it just your boys that you hang out with?
Yeah. Every now and then we load our motorcycles. We change cities.
Oh, so this is a temporary situation for you.
Well, Decatur's in one of our usual.
Oh, you rotate.
It's one of our usual stopping off points.
Interesting. Anything wild that we should know about? You seem to be the. No, that's a good idea for a coterie name. I got it. Don't worry about that. Anyway.
Everybody
as you
like,
are, Oh, I was going to refer to you all as a neighborhood watch, but that's actually a really good coterie name.
Oh.
Very masquerade friendly.
They're okay. Yeah, so okay.
So, if you have need of the neighborhood watch, we are here most of the time. But as far as I'm led to believe, things should stay relatively the same.
Okay. One of the other guys speaks up.
Yes.
So basically, as long as we're not causing any trouble. He introduced himself as grabbed the wrong two sheets. Colin Rowe. But basically, as long as we're not causing any trouble, and we'll help defend
The important
in the case of a Camarilla attack.
It's all but a certainty. Have you personally gone into Camarilla territory before?
Yes, briefly.
Have you gone in there and left there less people than there were initially?
When I went in kind of stealthy.
So that's going. It's a certainty that they will be here at some point. I just want to make that understood.
Well, that's true to some degree anywhere in Decatur. I mean, it's been calm the last couple of months. We are at war.
Egidio just points at the belt line like, I mean, they're right there, so. I take it this has allayed whatever fears you might have had?
Most of them not, they're at least calm and taking the wait and see approach.
You'll find that Kyle is very particular about how he runs his bar, but you probably knew that already.
There's some laughter. Oh yeah. We
We
all know not to make any messes in Kyle's bar.
Yes, but also mostly that he will continue to be a proprietor even when there should be some, kindred business being taken care of. I mean, all for it. Get your bread, I guess. But
and Colin speaks up again. Well, if you find yourselves in any need of assistance, I have contacts. I can probably procure supplies that you might need, or even help potentially.
hey, a gang of roughs every now and again is necessary for neighborhood watch. Sorry, what clan are you all, so I can have an idea of capabilities?
Colin's like, oh, I'm with the ministry.
Ooh, I see. Interesting.
Somebody else in the crowd mumbles Setite under their breath. But kind of
Now.
stage mumbles it.
Uh-huh. Now. All are welcome here, regardless of their clan affiliation.
He lets you know that he and his boys are gangrel.
Okay.
A couple of them don't really say anything. And then the first person you called on, some of the other people in the crowd are like, hey, Furman, why don't you tell me what you are?
Same Furman.
Furman Dorsey. And he's just kind of like, hey, I don't really have a clan particularly.
That, as far as I know, means one of two things.
He's a thin blood.
Ah, there it is. We will refer to them as Duskborn here.
Is that going to be like a rule?
No, it's just... I'm sure thin blood sounds like a slur. Duskborn just sounds cooler.
Furman kind of digs that.
But same rules apply as a Duskborn as there would be any other kindred. You prove yourself, and hey, maybe I owe you one.
And other than that, there's a few questions. Some of them are verifying what they've heard. What the borders are and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, yeah. Just I'll give out the street names and where the Beltline is, and everything in the moonlight.
But so they kind of break up. The ones that came in representing entire groups go back and kind of tell their folks what's going on.
Please let people know. The neighborhood watch is in business. He straightens himself out, and he will make it a point to leave last.
Ooh, mall security would have worked too. Okay, they kind of filter out. And as the night goes on, you may have to do this another time or two with smaller groups, Some people that had wandered in and then kind of wandered out to eat, may come back or whatever. The lady that was watching, that I assume Emma and Kyle have kept their eye on.
Mm-hmm.
Once you finish singing, Kyle, and get behind the bar, which is probably about the same time GDO is pulling everybody back.
Mm-hmm.
She gets up, she comes to the bar. See where I wrote her name down at.
This is herself as
Mr. Adams.
Yes.
That was quite a good performance.
Yeah, it helps pass the time.
Have you ever considered doing such a thing on a more professional basis?
Not particularly. I mostly just taught myself to calm the nerves after some particularly stressful nights at the job.
Artistic expression can be a good release.
Mm-hmm. How may I help you?
I'm Josephine Reinhardt.
I love the last name. Well, Josephine, what can I do you for?
She pulls out a little invitation. As you are one of the newest barons in town, I thought I would invite you and your entire group. I'm not entirely certain who is in charge amongst you.
Mm-hmm.
But thought I would invite you to a little to a small soiree. Can't talk now.
Soiree.
Thank you. That I'm putting on at the Princess. The Princess Theater is a old theater in downtown Decatur.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the Princess Theater in Decatur, not a theater owned by a Camarilla prince.
Correct.
Okay.
That'd be a bit ballsy of her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, here we go murdering again.
Yeah, no kidding. Hmm. I will let the others know then.
You know, some of the other bears will be there. It'll be a good way to meet and greet if you haven't met everyone already. I know that you are a local.
Have been all my life.
And even past that. But I know some of your friends, just kind of glances over them, are new here.
They are.
At almost on cue, Egidio comes out of the door, like having ushered everybody out. It's like, buenas noches.
You're saying that to
Josephine.
Josephine? She turns around and says hello to you in French.
Parlez-vous?
And she tells you, I was just talking to your friend Kyle. I'm having a little party at the Princess Theater that I'm inviting all of you to.
I think Egidio just does think about that, like, the Princess Theater, are you?
It's
what
an
they call
actual
the-
theater.
Ah, I see.
Ah, yes, I had not thought
Apologies.
about the name.
I am not from around here.
You don't say.
I'm very much not from around.
So is the purpose of this to just be a meet the new guy, or to actually strategize?
There will be some of both. Also, it's good for us. It's good to build up some camaraderie.
I have informed the kindred here that a counterattack will happen. It's just a matter of, will it happen tomorrow, tonight? Will it happen next week? Next month?
Do you mean our counterattack on them?
Their counterattack.
Oh, I believe that was that whole unpleasantness with the sewers.
See.
We still have not gotten into contact with any of Rat's coterie.
I haven't heard from Walter.
Yeah, we sent Walter to go look.
I'm not familiar with Walter, but I hope he's a
Group benefits from having a Nosferatu.
so he is an Os. Oh. Well, then I hope he's stealthy.
He's a pretty good ambush predator.
Like a thick.
Anyway, I do hope you'll come. The invitation has the times. It was so nice to meet you all.
Out of curiosity, what clan are you? I hope that's not rude.
It's not the most common of requests. But don't worry, I take no offense. Good night, everyone. And she heads to the door.
Egidio actually does laugh. Respect. And he, waves goodbye.
Though when she said that's an unusual, kind of an unusual thing to ask, her eyes cut from you to Emma.
Emma's like,
You might not. You come to think of it, the guys may or may not notice that being a particular thing.
No, just I think because Egidio has like a good amount of insight, he would clock it, but he wouldn't know what it means off the top of his head.
Might just be a woman camaraderie thing more than anything.
don't ask a woman her clan or her age.
I know what she meant by that. Oh well.
It's not something that you typically ask.
It is when you have context in the ministry. I say that well after she leaves.
What? The hell is a ministry? Do we
You don't know
have
the ministry?
those?
Yeah.
No.
Maybe you knew them as setates?
Not really.
Chances are good Kyle would have heard the name
It's familiar, but
because they are
I
part of
don't-
the anarchs.
They are an anarch clan.
But I don't know.
They are.
What they are.
They're good at finding somebody. For example, I'm good at clocking the dead. They're good at finding the undead. Or living, I guess.
From what I understand, they believe they are descended from Egyptian gods.
Well, there's that too.
Specifically
But
said.
who among us doesn't think we're a god of some sort?
So delusional. Got it.
Point is, when they know somebody, or know how to find that somebody, which is useful in a relatively large town like this. Relatively.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that myself.
You come from the 6th largest city in the world, but so.
So the relatively is very heartfelt for Egidio.
Yes. So, do we have any business? I've kind of spoke with the curious kindred who came in. Mostly told them, and forgive me if I overstepped, Kyle, as this is your domain, that things are going to stay relatively the same with an emphasis on a retaliation at some point.
The only hard rule is, well, they can invite people to leave. No hunting in my bar.
Was that
No
a hard rule?
feeding in my bar, rather.
Was that a hard rule before you became a baron?
That's the one rule I had for any kindred that became a regular here. They're not allowed
Nothing.
to feed inside the premises.
Then nothing changed.
And your conversation gets broken up occasionally by some of the employees come by and asking the boss something, or one or two just to kind of ask you, is everything okay? Because you don't usually play the super long sets or anything.
Rough night last night.
Well, and they're kind of paying attention because, Egidio and Emma are hanging around a whole lot.
And the boss doesn't typically hang out with folks anyway, so there's also that.
Alright, is there anything else in particular that y'all want to
What
accomplish
Egidio is
tonight?
mostly asking.
If someone else has something they want to do, I need to pull up the PDF because there's a specific resonance Kyle wants to hunt down tonight.
Oh, he can find it because he's a bloodhound.
Yes.
Would
He
Kyle
is.
really
He
have
can-
knowledge of resonances? I know the
Uh,
Tremere are really deep into that sort of stuff.
it's not so much he knows what all the resonances are.
I'll
It's
be
more
right back.
of
Phone call.
it's more of his sense of smell can sort of detect which resonances more closely align to what disciplines he has.
Okay.
I think it's probably like this one tastes better.
It's more like he knows what he likes
Yeah.
than could
He's
really
got he's got a
define what
good
it
sense
is.
of taste.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a refined palate.
It's sort of like how like if someone really likes a specific like food, for example, they can sort of like sniff it out in like a buffet line or something, and they can like just go right for
Okay.
it. So that's kind of what he does with the
While
resonances.
you're looking through that, I think Egidio, I think he does. He'll look at Kyle and look at Emma and be like, "I think I'll have a stroll around the barony." Weird to call it, but
I was gonna make a lap myself.
according to this, there is a. He looks back down. He said, "There is a blood center towards the south end."
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start there. If you want to go the other way, meet up in the middle, see what happens.
It works for me.
Egidio will. Well, you guys. Well, you are closer. You all are closer to locals than I am. That's a couple blocks away. That's walkable. So he'll just walk,
Mhm.
taking the evening air, or as much as he can without, you know, blood
Ah,
to
there we
warm
go.
himself.
Okay, so you walk down to the blood center.
Down past the mall.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's choleric, melancholy, and animal blood are the
Mhm.
ones that he likes.
The blood center is of course closed by now.
Do I see any do I see any security cameras like just like right by anything?
You do see one mounted on kind of the roof of the building. That's just kind of watching the parking lot in general.
Oh, so it would have seen me come in then.
Hmm.
Okay. That's fine. Egidio will like take his finger and like cut it open a little bit, put a little dab of blood on the bottommost corner of where the door is,
Okay.
and then close the wound and be like, "I'll be back." And he walks back. He just kind of explores the rest of the domain, mostly like the mall area. I'm sure that's also closing at this point.
At this point, because it's after the dinner rush,
Mhm.
it's probably 8 or 9, so it would still be open, getting close, to, relatively close to closing time.
Probably walk. He'll probably just like no, actually make a rouse check for it. Activate Blush of Life and just kind of like walk around as though he's mortal. I get hungrier.
Okay,
But
so
worth it.
you warm up. You're breathing in and out like normal. You're leaving little
Mhm.
puffs of vapor.
Yeah.
Uh,
And he just walks around the mall, and then that'll take him probably until they start like making the announcements that the mall is closing,
mhm.
and then he'll leave unless something very interesting catches his eye.
Not really. The mall is not super busy.
Didn't think so. If he sees like a really like this is like a fun trinket shop, he might go and peruse. And he's not after like the the hot topics or anything like that. He's more into the like weird trinket shops, anything macabre is getting his attention like that. And stuff like that. Probably the local witchy store.
This is one of the most mundane malls you've ever been in.
That sucks.
There's almost nothing in here that would catch Gio's attention.
Fine. And then
You
he'll
know, I mean, there's some clothing stores and stuff. You know, if he,
sure, but
he could probably get something acceptable at, but not as good as he used to, but acceptable.
Then after that time, he might, if he just like gets really frustrated and doesn't see anything that catches his eye, might just leave maybe 30 minutes before they start announcing it closing, and be like, it's a mall. Leave. Still has bunch of life going, at least for the rest of the scene.
Yeah, you can keep it. You'll keep it going for your entire little walkabout.
And then he'll go back. He'll go up and probably meet Kyle at some point.
All right, so Kyle, were you heading north?
Yeah. He was going to sort of start up in this area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty close to where his haven is anyway.
Now Sarah's back. I'm gonna use the restroom.
But
it's like we're sitting at a table in the same building, and the only one person can go to the restroom at a time.
Well, someone's got to watch the stuff.
Round robin.
Yeah. He is gonna sort of patrol this area. Mostly because that's there.
Yep.
So that's sort of like the area closest to where the action went down. So he's gonna patrol it.
Well, yeah, because all the action went down just right across the road from it.
Mm-hmm.
At the U-Haul place.
Yeah, so he's gonna get on his bike and he's gonna, take this road here and sort of explore this area.
Okay. Yeah, this little mess of roads over here is mostly residential.
Yeah.
You drive up, you look across the road, across the belt line to the U-Haul place. They have not replaced the glass yet. They've got a big piece of plywood over it right now. There's police tape up. You notice some people just sort of loitering about in the hospital parking lot.
He's just as a slow drive. He's gonna sort of kind of stop at that corner here.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit deeper in the territory. Pull out his phone. Since the denumerator contacted him about stuff. Dave, he's gonna shoot Dave a text that says, see some loiterers out in the parking lot at the hospital.
Yeah, they seem to have their security a little tighter.
Do I mind if I make a roll to see if I can see who might be there? Like how numbers, that kind of a thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. 2, 4, 6. Only one success.
Okay.
I mean, it was a 10, but only one success.
You see 5 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Using guys just generically. There's 5 people like standing around little clusters talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Not something you would have noticed if you didn't have a reason to be focused on the hospital.
Yeah.
There's a few more folks sitting in cars, but you're not sure if that's just people that have just gotten there or about to leave, or if some of them may be people that are just staking the place out like that.
Mm-hmm. Don't notice how many. Okay, so he'll.
And of course, you don't know who might be there that you can't see.
Yeah.
They could be crossing the street and creeping up on you as you speak.
He is gonna shoot a respond text like, clock 5, potentially more in vehicles. And then he will continue on his way.
Okay.
He'll sort of do kind of a. So he'll go into this area and then he'll sort of drive back and then this stuff.
Okay. So you get kind of a lay of the land.
Yeah. Then when he comes back this way, he will stop by this inn.
Okay.
And he'll pull out the old sniffer and see if he can find the whiff of some melancholic resonance. Caloric or animal blood would also work, but he's sort of like, I'm feeling this particular palate today.
Well, like I said, when you're in the mood for animal, there is this whole wooded area back here that's liable to have possums, raccoons, squirrels, all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I could potentially get Descarada for the Protean discipline from animal blood. So.
And also, just as an aside, Decatur has a problem with coyotes, so.
Oh, fun.
I don't remember if that's particularly in y'all's area or not. I'll have to look at it. So you basically wander into the hotel, start sniffing at doors.
No, he's gonna. I know that because I know it's something that I do when I'm at like hotels sometimes. If I'm bored, I'll like head outside and take like a walk around the sort of parking lot kind of a thing.
Okay.
And so he's gonna see if anyone's doing that.
All right, let me pull up the hunting.
Yeah, my hunting style is an alley cat, so he's a ambush predator when it comes to hunting.
All right.
I say ambush, but it's more like come here.
So this is healthy working class neighborhood, downtown business district, tourist district. So the difficulty is 4.
Okay. I don't remember. Now that it's our domain, do we get that reduced by anything?
That is a good question.
I don't.
Let's see. Lean never modifies hunting.
Domain. I think it was we have. Where is Chronicle? Coterie. There we go. So we have 2 in Choss, none in Lion, and 2.
All right. So what was it you had?
Okay, so it's base 5. We see 1 dot in Choss provides the coterie with a default hunting difficulty of 6 inside their domain. Each additional dot reduces that difficulty by 1. Okay. So you said 4? Given it's that's a populous area?
Yeah, populous, low crime rate area, you know.
Okay. That is exactly 4.
Okay. So yeah, you're wandering around, yeah, and there's 1 or 2 people out, you know, walking.
Uh-huh.
You know, probably like an after dinner walk or whatever.
Yeah.
None of them really smell like. I mean, you know, they would do in a pinch, but they're not really what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
The whiff that you catch of the sort of morsel you're looking for is a man sitting in a car.
Okay.
He's got the window just, you know, it's February, it's cold. And but he's got the window cracked, and he's like smoking, and you know, ash out the window, blows smoke out, you know, at that little crack in the window.
Right. Is there anybody around?
One of those people out taking a walk is, but if you wait just a minute, they'll be either around the corner or back in the building.
Okay.
Are you gonna make your move as soon as it's clear?
Yeah. Once it's clear, he'll go over. He'll knock on the window.
The guy kind of startles. As you walk up, you see he's got a tablet, and he's flipping through these photos of a woman and a man going into this hotel. And when you walk up, when he looks up at you, he looks like he's been crying.
Melancholic, yeah, that'll work. Go ahead, go.
You know, it's kind of a quick. And he rolls the window down and looks at the photo. Oh, can I help you, man?
Rough night.
He kind of slaps the cover over on his tablet. I've had better.
Been there, know how it feels. Reach into his wallet and he'll pull out a 5. Bum a smoke.
Oh, sure. Hey, don't even worry about that, man.
All right.
Yeah, he rolls the window down enough to, you know, kind of all the way down at this point.
And then he's in, taking a snack.
I'm just picturing Kyle diving, and you just see Kyle's legs kicking outside the window.
No, he's just leaning in, just like.
So there's that brief second of panic. You can taste the adrenaline in his blood, and then the nature of the kiss kicks in, and he just sort of relaxes back into his seat. How much are you taking from him?
Not a lot. I mean, he's at 1 hunger, so he doesn't need to take any. So he's just gonna tap 1 to see if he can pull that sort of resonance out.
Oh, okay. So you're just taking a sip, so that's not even very long.
Yeah.
That's a test, right?
Yeah, I have to make 2 rolls.
Oh, yes, it's starting to sound familiar.
Yeah, I did this with Kyle a lot. Samuel. Yeah. So if I roll a 9 or a 10, it's intense. And then I have to roll again, and if it's another 9 or a 10, then I get a Desecrata.
So you have to actually roll a d10 instead of
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, vessels with an acute temperament provide the same discipline bonus as an intense resonance. So if I get a 9 or a 10, then I get a dice bonus to using fortitude powers.
Okay.
And then if I roll a 9 and a 10 a second time, then I get some Desecratas or I can consume the Deskrata entirely and gain additional experience towards like the Fortitude discipline.
Okay.
Like for example, some of the Deskratas, like in this guy, for example, lost love as one of the samples. Add 1 die to all pools to resist seduction attempts, including presence powers.
That could be useful.
Or in mourning, add 1 die to remorse tests. Those are just like samples in the book of some stuff that an acute Deskrata could give. But no, sorry. The vampire dice doesn't do anything. I need the actual numbered dice for this. That's
Yeah.
what these are for. Nope, it is well balanced. So I
Okay.
don't get anything off him.
Okay. Now, Emma, while Egidio and Kyle are off patrolling, getting kind of a lay of the land, what are you doing?
She knows where the boundaries are. She drives around them enough doing deliveries and all that,
Mhm,
so
mhm.
she's not too concerned about going and doing patrols. Plus, she's not the best in a fight, so she's not going to put herself in that situation.
I'm gonna link this in Tuesday real quick, sorry.
Honestly, she may just go home, or she may kind of scope out where that Prince Theater is,
Okay.
just to kind of get a lay of where it is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's not going to help. Yeah, I don't have a good map to show you. But yeah, you look at what street it's on. It's close. It is close to both the city hall and the courthouse, relatively speaking.
Is
Both
the
of
area
those,
medicine? Go ahead.
both of those areas are under Camarilla control. But then just a street or two over is Anarch territory. So she is not as close to the border as one of the borders as you guys are, but definitely fairly close.
Is it within any particular baronry?
Give me a wits. Because you were just
Wise?
yeah. Give me a wits streetwise.
Sorry, just cutting in. This is something I did not know about Deskratas. We were doing it wrong the first game.
Why am I not shocked?
Yeah, the requirements to gain its effect varies between different Deskratas, but unless otherwise stated, the vampire must kill and drain the vessel or feed for them over the course of 3 nights. So it's not
Only
that he.
one success.
You seem to remember last night when you were at Paget's place. He had a map of the city on the wall behind him, with a bunch of stuff marked off. He had the Camarilla controlled area and his barony and other baronies. You seem to recall down around where the princess would be, there being what looked like just 2 buildings that were marked in the same color.
Okay. Maybe just kind of run by individuals within the anarchs.
Quite possible. You don't remember. You don't know whose they were.
Yeah, kind of like how Kyle's bar was marked as like a color.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She'll make a note of like the route that'll take her through mostly Anarch territory versus going into Camarilla territory to get there.
Okay.
And probably just do a couple deliveries here and there throughout the course of the night. Keep her phone on.
Okay. Give me a wits awareness.
That's gonna just be wits. Really need to throw something into awareness. I really need to throw something into awareness.
Fortunately, I think it's not that bad because skill is 3 XP.
Yeah, I have XP to do it, and I could toss some in there, but not right now. Not in the middle of the game.
Not right.
Yeah.
So you manage to drive by the Princess Theater, and it's lit up. There's either a show or a concert. There's something going on.
Yeah.
It's not real busy today, though.
Yeah.
And you look around, you really can't tell for sure what that other building which building it is.
She wasn't really paying attention.
Mm-hmm. It's just when you looked up where the princess was, you remember there were a couple of dots in that general area.
Mm-hmm.
So the counterattack you've all been dreading doesn't happen tonight. Emma, you make your deliveries, you make a little money, and eventually y'all all must turn in as the sun gets close. The party you were invited to is the next night. Starting at midnight.
Okay.
So, plenty of time for Kyle to do his whole bar thing.
Before we end this night,
Mm-hmm.
Two things. At one, Egidio's gonna like slake the hunger he had from the bagged blood he got that night. And two, I have to test for what is it, Disgracia?
What now?
Because specifically bagged blood does it for Oblivion for specifically bagged blood does the resonance for Oblivion.
Oh, okay.
That. Nope. I rolled. Has to be like a 9 or 10, right, to have any effect. So yeah, good.
You're talking, Eric.
Yeah, I just realized that. 1 to 5 is well balanced, negligible resonance. 6 to 8 is fleeting, and then 9 and 10 is intense, potentially acute.
I got fleeting.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah, so there's no resonance at all there then.
Yep. Worth a shot.
Potentially though, when it comes to temperament, I could sort of nudge this dude that I found a little bit further to make his melancholy a bit more acute.
Gaslight him.
I mean, I might incur a stain in doing so, but I have a humanity 6, so it's not like he's the best of guys anyway. Also, given his background,
yeah,
it'd probably be normal.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to do until we started the new night.
All right, everybody, give me a rouse check as you wake up in the morning. You really are not.
I'm good. What hunger are you at, Emma?
No successes, so I'm not 2.
Okay, yeah, I'm at 1, so I made mine.
Okay. So y'all aren't in bad shape.
I think Egidio will still go hunting because his hunting is unique and he can kind of just do that. Just because it's bagged blood, so. The time of this thing is like later on in the evening, right?
It's at midnight.
Or is it like it's
yes,
at midnight?
the party starts at midnight.
So
Yeah.
he's got plenty of time.
Oh yeah.
So he'll I'll check my hunting roll when I remember what it is. Manipulation streetwise. 1, 3 in manipulation, and I have 2 in streetwise. I have an additional 1 because it's the black market thing. One success. So probably couldn't get anything today, which is fine.
Nope.
Um,
Basically, your contact's like, yeah, he can pinch some for you every now and then, but he start doing it too often, and people will notice.
yeah, if we know there's a thing happening tonight, Kyle is going to hunt again. See if he can find some caloric blood. Because he's aware of where property lies and he knows where that's at.
That's fair.
So he wants to make sure that he is prepared as much as possible. So yeah, he's gonna go looking for a ganger.
Okay.
Since the Descrata's in here for caloric are like bully, cycle of violence, envy, vengeful. So I'm like, that sounds right up his alley.
Are you staying within the domain, or just venturing out wherever you need to?
He's gonna venture out into like the free hunting area a bit.
Okay.
Because he knows his reputation amongst mortal criminals, and that stuff probably doesn't happen too terribly often near where he is at.
Yeah, the area you're domaining is not high crime by any means.
Yeah, so he's gonna range out a bit since he's got time.
Okay. Going to hit one of the rougher parts of it, or rougher neighborhoods.
Yeah,
Understood.
as long as it's like a free hunting area, since he's a baron now.
All right, so yeah, you slip off into one of the seedier neighborhoods.
Uh-huh.
We'll give that one a difficulty of 2.
Okay. Just because like my familiarity with that kind of culture.
Mm-hmm.
All right, makes sense. 5.
All right. You hit a couple of little spots that are kind of gang hangout spots.
Uh-huh.
And you actually arrive. You're slinking around in alleyways. You hear somebody fighting up ahead.
Okay.
I mean, sounds like a fist fight. Nobody sounds like they pulled guns and nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like somebody's drugs came up missing. Like they're like a little bit out of their personal stash, not like a business thing going south.
Right.
And you can hear somebody getting a mud hole stomped in them.
Okay.
Threats being made about what's going to happen to him next time this happens, that sort of thing.
Right. Kyle's gonna sort of round the corner and see which one like that particular caloric scent is coming off of. Since being a bully and wanting vengeance are probably on both of them. I'd imagine.
It's coming a little stronger off the guy that's winning, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, by the time you round the corner, the one guy's kind of on the ground, just curling up.
Mm.
But he looks up when you round the corner. He looks up. Let me see if he recognizes you.
Yeah.
Because you have a rep, but not everybody in town's going to know you on sight.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, he got 3 successes on 3 dice, so...
Fair.
Kyle? Oh, hey, man. What you doing down in this part of town?
Walking the old neighborhoods.
Hmm.
You take something of yours?
Yeah, he got into my stash.
Hmm.
Not
It's
going to
never
happen
a good
again,
thing
though,
to
is
do.
it? And he kicks the guy one more time. No, what was that?
Yeah, Kyle's like, that's never a good thing to do.
Nah, it's stupid. Stupid as shit, isn't it? Kind of nudges the guy again.
It's better to leave him conscious to let the lesson sink in.
Yeah. I'll remind him in the morning.
Fair enough.
How's stuff going to that bar of yours?
Fairly well. Had some idiot try to run over a regular of mine. I took offense to that.
I think I heard something about that. And he kind of turns and like walking to the other end of the alley as he talks to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you get out on the street,
Yeah.
or if you want to get him before.
Well, the thing is, since he recognized Kyle on sight, since he was getting that scent from both of them, he's just gonna like do some small talk with the guy and let him go on his way. Then he's actually gonna go feed on the unconscious guy.
Okay.
Since-
so yeah, you talk.
Since unconscious guy probably doesn't know Kyle's there, whereas this guy like probably whenever someone's like, yeah, man, he just kind of bit me. What the hell?
All right, so you chew the fat of this guy. Y'all get out to the street and y'all part separate ways. You circle back around.
Yeah.
As you circle back around, the quote unquote unconscious guy is picking himself up. Like
Mhm.
he may have been faking just how bad. I mean, he's moving slow. He's obviously hurting.
Yeah, Kyle's just gonna pounce him from behind. Take a chomp.
Again, it's that moment of panic, and then just kind of like suddenly it doesn't hurt as bad.
Mm-hmm.
How much is Kyle drinking?
Hold that thought. Cause that was a 9 on the dice.
Okay, so is that acute?
It's intense. So I have to roll again. I'll say this. Player to storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
This will be up to the dice roll. If it's a 1 through an 8, he's just gonna sip. So he can get that 1 dice bonus to his potence.
Okay.
Discipline. And he's also gonna steal the dude's ID. What? This dude has intense caloric blood, which means he wants to keep this guy on radar so he knows who to hunt. If it comes up as a 9 or a 10 for acute, he'll drain him.
Okay.
So up to the dice roll. Yeah, it's a 2. So it's just intense. So I do get a 1 dice bonus to all of my potence powers. Um,
And how long does that bonus last? Is it until the
Just
next
for the
time you
night.
feed? Okay. Oh, just for the night.
yeah.
Okay.
It's I linked it in Tuesday chat. What
Oh, I see it now.
what intense temperament does.
This bonus lasts till the vampire's next drink of blood dilutes it, or until the vampire system completely empties of blood when their hunger reaches 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So until he drinks again, he keeps that 1 point bonus, that 1 dice bonus to
Okay.
potence. He is going to, while the guy's sort of like, he's gonna fish out the guy's wallet, snapshot his driver's license, so he has a name and a picture and all of that, so he knows who it is and address, so he can get Walter on that. And then he'll leave him there.
Okay. Yeah, but what are you doing for the early part of the evening?
Double checking which powers take rouse checks in case I need them.
Go on.
You're going to a fancy dress party. Why would you need to make rouse checks?
Yeah, exactly. She's going to a fancy dress party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, um, oh, this goes
Go
without
ahead.
saying, but Egidio's dressing to the nines. I know that guy's in LA, but you know what I mean.
She'll go hunting just to make sure just in case it's needed.
Okay. Where are you going to hunt?
The apartments in the domain.
Okay.
She's gonna do like she did last time with the delivery bag, and just
Okay.
kind of.
Now, do you mean the
activate
apartment
heightened sense.
areas? Do you mean the apartment areas up here in the north?
Yeah.
Okay. So not the exact same one, which is probably a
No,
good
not
idea,
the same ones.
considering she basically kicked a door in that last time.
Yeah, she's gonna let that one simmer for a while. And be looking at her phone like she's trying to hunt down a particular apartment.
Okay.
She's gonna have heightened senses on kind of seeing where someone might be asleep. She'll probably do this a little bit later in the evening, maybe like 8-ish, 8, 9 o'clock.
Okay. And these are where the Presbyterian Towers, it's one big apartment building. This one's
Yeah.
more the broke up apartment kind of neighborhood sort of thing.
Yeah. Still, she'll be like seeing maybe, what apartments have lights on and off, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, it's 6 or 7 at this point. It's early in the evening, so most of them have the lights on. You pass by some doors, you hear, people talking inside, you hear children, you hear TVs on.
Yep. Yeah, if she can't find anywhere that someone may be asleep, she'll just pass on it.
Okay, well, give me a hunting roll, and we'll see how well you do.
Question, because she does have a bonus to break-ins, would I be able to add any modifier to this?
If you're planning to break into one of the apartments, sure. If you're planning to knock on the door, like you got the wrong, like you got the wrong number, wrong apartment number or something, then you wouldn't. Of course, if you flub it up while breaking in, people are probably going to notice you.
Yeah. We'll just do regular roll.
Okay.
2.
Okay, I think the difficulty was 3 or 4 in this area.
was for the Presbyterian Towers one. It was 3 or 4. I don't know if we get any additional because it's in domain.
No, I don't believe you do.
Okay. Yeah, if she can't find somewhere that she is pretty sure she won't get caught or encounter someone awake, she's just gonna go back to her car and get ready for the party.
Okay. How is she dressing?
Casual, elegant, with a hat that comes down kind of like that.
Like a flapper hat.
Kind of sort of like a 1920s, 1930s style hat.
A flapper hat.
hmm She's very much
Her hat
styling.
strategically dipped below one eye.
Yep, and then the hair, like that, it doesn't dip on that side. The hair will be going like that on the other side. Very strategically hairstyling and hat styling.
Gideon has a really nice looking tuxedo.
How is Kyle dressing?
We're supposed to dress up for this?
Boots, a clean pair of black jeans, a button up tucked into the boots with a belt and a heavy long coat on over that.
Dressed like every Theo I've ever known.
Every what?
Every Theo I've ever known. Mexican thing. Culture.
Okay.
I'll explain it later.
We'll all be
Yeah.
Googling it later.
Yeah, because now I gotta know.
Hispanic uncles.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew that word sounded familiar.
Yeah, it did. I was sitting there going, why do I know this?
Theo Bruno.
Yeah. Egidio is specifically using the sword cane as his cane for today. And he's wearing the ring, but he's wearing the antique ring he got off of the Primogen's pet.
Oh,
It was a good idea. I said that's what he's doing.
Oh yeah, no. I must not have to say anything.
I will also say, he does have his guitar in its case strapped around his shoulders.
Guitar or Tommy gun?
Yes.
Rattle them, boys!
No, I'm actually thinking about Desperado. Is it the bazooka one? Or the machine gun one?
All I know is every time I hear Tommy gun, I just imagine that gif, like the skeleton with the with the Uzi going, rattle them, boys!
Alright, so y'all head off. Are y'all all meeting up and going together, I assume?
Yeah,
I would
sure.
assume if we all kind of know about it.
Kyle's still driving his motorcycle, but yeah. He likes that bike.
Emma will drive her car. And give Egidio a ride.
Yes, I was going to ask.
Yeah, no. She'll be like, no, you don't have to. You can ride in the car versus the bike. I don't
So
think
Egidio gets out of this beater car that probably doesn't cost as much as his suit.
He doesn't have. As far as you all know, you've never seen him in a car.
Well, I mean, when he gets out of Emma's car.
Oh yeah. He doesn't say anything about it. It is a kindness.
The car works well to keep the masquerade.
Her giving you a ride is a kindness, or you not saying anything about it is a kindness?
Yes.
Alright, so y'all pull up to the Princess Theater, and I really should have had a picture of the princess ready to go. Oh well.
Yeah.
And it's not a real large theater or anything.
Speaking of ready to go, I'm going to need to get a name for that guy off you after game.
Oh, yeah.
For Kyle to keep track of him.
So you get there. There are doormen out front, but like the big front lights, because there's lots of neon lights on this thing. They're all turned off. Because it's midnight.
Mm-hmm.
But like the lobby lights are on. somebody driving by would see that the lobby lights are on.
Yeah.
But it's mostly little shops around here, so there's not a whole lot of people around once everything's closed.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk up, the people at the door ask for your name.
Kyle.
Gidio.
Emma.
You're on the
He'll,
list. They open the door
pull
for you.
out
No
the
problem.
card.
Ah, yes. So they open the door. They let you in.
Say also more to the point for Egidio and Emma. This is probably the nicest you've ever seen Kyle dress.
Not covered in
It's like
somebody's
he's
blood.
he's getting ready to go to Cowboys dance hall.
He doesn't have a hat, but yes.
That is a inside joke with whoever lives in San Antonio that's watching us.
Somebody somewhere at some point in time is going to hear that and laugh.
He's dressed like Harry Dresden from inside the books, not from the book cover.
Where do you think I got it from? I was literally looking at that image.
Because inside in the books, he never wears a hat, but he's always got a hat on the covers. But you walk in, there's a fair number of kindred around. Everybody's, well, not everybody's dressed nice. A lot of people are dressed nice. You spot a few other, well, he's probably Gangrel. Oh, there's some Bruja. You know, you have the people that are not dressed nice because they specifically go out of their way not to dress nice.
I think Egidio will activate heightened senses as he's here. Just to not to eavesdrop on anything, but just in case something is like said, whispered behind his back about him. Like if he's
not to eavesdrop on anything, but to eavesdrop on everybody.
Not to so specifically for people talking about him or his coterie. If he hears something that's talking about like some guy they met yesterday, fuck that. I don't care.
Wits awareness.
I will roll wits awareness. Stop putting away my dice. Wits awareness, add my aspects.
Oh yeah, that thing I always did is Samuel.
3. Doing awareness. I have an aspects rating of 2. Add 2 more. That is 3 successes.
Okay. Actually, your group is the subject of several conversations.
And that's the other thing is like he knew we just like obliterated a Camarilla coterie by barely being like connected, and now we're formally connected.
So the obviously Bruja group. That's what they are talking about. Oh yeah, they took out an entire Cam coterie. And you know, they knew Kyle was rough. That doesn't surprise them. Now the chick doesn't look too tough to them. They wonder how much fighting she did. Probably more than Fancy Pants, but who knows? And one of them mentions that they you know, they've heard that they've got a Nos too. Well, you know, those guys can usually fight. So, there's some speculation on whether Emma is maybe a caitiff or thin blood.
Both are fine.
Egidio, how well known is it what clan you are?
He doesn't bring it up.
Okay. He'll ask other people what theirs are, but he doesn't say anything himself.
Exactly.
One guy theorizes that you're Tremere. I don't know. It's always the Tremere that have, well, and sometimes the Ventrue that have the walking sticks. Okay. So that's what they're talking about. Other groups are talking about the, the fact that you have a new barony. There's some debate as to, well, which one of them is actually in charge, or is it some group thing? And that leads them into debating the best way to structure the government in or the best way to organize a domain. There are several political conversations.
Naturally.
Some of the ones that aren't talking about you specifically, or just mention you in passing. You hear groups that want to take the fight to the Camarilla, more aggressively. Those that want to be more cautious. Some people think you all deserve to be celebrated for what you did. One or two seem to think you may be troublemakers.
Not wrong.
I mean, overall, most of the room seems to be kind of positively inclined towards you. A couple of people are wondering why Kyle's got a guitar.
Melee weapon. And that's, you just kind of pick that up walking through the room.
Yeah.
You see Paget is there. You see August is already there. And they've got their little cliques around them. They're on opposite ends of the room.
Just like
a
head
cat
nod
and
very
dog.
respectfully. I'll do the head nod very respectfully to all of them.
And each of them catches
Yeah.
catches your eye. Paget just gives you a August kind of, he's got a glass. He kind of raises his glass to you. And he's the first one that moves over and greets you, each of you by name. Is Walter not attending tonight?
He's on the hunt.
And he might have begged off because everything he owns smells like sewage at the moment.
Party's not his favorite terrain.
Trouble in the sewers.
Yes. I never would have thought of weaponizing the sewers. I mean, as a way to move troops around, sure, but
I'm surprised they haven't done so by now.
backing those things up like that can actually be quite difficult. Apparently, the system here in Decatur has been terribly out of repair.
Yeah.
How have you been settling into your domain?
Well enough.
Any major changes we need to know about?
Not as of yet. Mostly just keeping an eye on the hospital.
Yes.
I have a question, Lee.
Beg pardon?
I have a question.
Oh, yes, Mr. Luna. What can I do for you?
Is our barony and domain the closest to the front lines?
The way the city is set up is split up at the moment. There are many front lines. Your domain is certainly against one of them. There's another border not too far from here, just a little bit to the north, The Camarilla has managed to hang on to the courthouse and the city hall.
See. Okay, so this isn't like the first. This isn't the first person or barony with it on the border. Good to
Oh
know.
no, certainly not.
So this isn't like a let's test the licks who got together and jumped an org.
I mean, I suppose nobody else's territory necessarily runs right up to the road dividing it.
Good way.
But no,
of
you
putting it.
are not an intentional experiment.
I will say probably a good way of explaining it is what was once a tense neutral ground just suddenly became another hostile front line. Open up another front in the war, so to speak.
It's a border that we felt we needed to put a fort on.
Well, they mess with my bar, they'll see how much of a fort it is.
And we needed somebody that was motivated to protect the area. As he's talking to you, Josephine comes up. Josephine comes up. Oh, I'm so glad you were all able to make it.
Those of us that are able to.
Emma just kind of gives a respectful head nod.
Oh, it's such a pretty hat.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Luna, you are quite dashing.
Thank you. I am
Dapper even.
best.
Oh, and Kyle, you brought your guitar. Lovely.
Well, you did mention it in your sales pitch, so I figured I might as well.
Yes. We'll have to do it later.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes you around and introduces you to several other people. You do not see, or excuse me, you do see Clint Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives you a polite nod. He doesn't break off his conversation that he's having with someone else, but he gives you a nod when he sees you. You don't see any of his other people here with him. You're introduced to a couple of people that are far from the Wallace domain or Wallace barony, down in the southmost part of the city.
Yeah.
Though apparently their baron is not here. And everybody else is just kind of like, he just don't show sometimes.
Sometimes duty calls.
Egidio, you hear a few when that gets mentioned. You hear a few people in the background commenting on on the fact that he's not here again.
Is this a common occurrence? This organization of various barons?
Josephine tells you we get together periodically.
See.
More of a war. This many times it's more of a business war council sort of thing. I'll be honest, I skip a lot of those.
Well, I get the sense that you are more for the party aspect.
I prefer to think of it as the culture aspect.
Very good. I respect that.
I mean, do not doubt that don't doubt me that I stand with the anarchs, but
Oh, naturally. I would imagine everyone in here stands with the anarchs, or they would have been ousted already.
mostly yes. I mean, there is.
From what I understand, the Camarilla tend to be stodgy, so it's difficult to.
Well, you do
Not
send. We
sense
do
that.
send emissaries back and forth some.
I see.
And there is one here tonight, but that's. Truthfully, I think him using more of an excuse to come and watch my performance than anything. He is Toreador, so.
How into?
But so is there anyone in town that you lot would particularly want to talk to?
Not really.
Is Solo here?
You have not spotted him.
Okay.
And you don't see anybody that you specifically recognize as kind of a, lone wolf.
Okay.
It seems to be mostly people with their own baronies and some of their flunkies.
Okay. So more organized people.
Mm-hmm.
I will shoot a text to Solo and say homework later? Question mark.
It's a few minutes before he gets back to you. Sounds good. I'm actually already working on one class. Just let me know when you're available.
Sir?
And let's see, Solo wouldn't trust you with his home.
No, but we can meet.
So he's got a bit of office space somewhere that he uses as his lab.
Okay.
But the Josephine carries around and introduces you to a bunch of people. Some of the barons from the outer baronies are here. Eventually, everybody kind of ushers out of the lobby and into the actual theater section. At which point, Josephine takes Kyle by the arm and starts leading him towards the stage.
Okay.
Please, you two come up here. We'll sit you in the front row.
Okay.
Which is also where a lot of the most important barons are sitting.
Going to make yourself as small as possible in the chair.
Padgett just has this look on his face as Kyle goes walking by.
To be fair, Kyle actually dressed fairly nice. So
fairly nice.
Better than what Padgett usually sees him in.
That's true. Still, he doesn't seem overly impressed.
Yeah.
Egidio, you hear him mumble to one of the people next to him. If he plays honky tonk music, I am walking out into the sun.
Egidio just.
Are you okay?
I'm good. Just left over from earlier.
Well, of course.
So, Emma, you got Egidio on one side of you. You have got one of Padgett's flunkies on the other side of you. Actually,
wouldn't happen to be the one she healed, would it be?
No, actually, it is. Now that I think about it, it is. Rachel,
Okay.
the numerator, the census taker.
Yeah.
You have not seen the denumerator.
Without enumerating.
Yeah. The sweepers are not generally popular people in the areas they work in.
Are we just gonna befriend the sweeper like we did the first game?
We saw how well that
it
went.
worked great the first game.
Yeah, it went great the first time.
Yeah, well, the first time we were also cam, and you know how well things work with the cam.
Oh yeah, Anarch's a whole lot better.
Yeah.
In some respects, yeah.
It could still turn into we end up and having to murder the guy.
It could.
It's episode 4. Let's not make any friends.
And then sitting behind you are the two guys from the Wallace Barony. You're not sure what position they really have, but apparently anytime the Baron can't make it, at least one of them comes in instead. But one of them, catches your eye and kind of smiles at you as you're sitting down.
Returns it, sits down, kind of just looking forward.
You hear him speak behind you. Is she a healer, a warrior, or a watcher?
Do I hear that?
Who
Yeah, you
builds
got-
sirens?
Oh, I hear that and she does not.
No, both of you hear it.
Okay.
She hears it because they're right behind her, and you're close by and got your hiding senses. The other person from Wallace is like, "What was that? I didn't say anything."
Straight ahead, Kill Bill sirens, like the dog in the GIF with like the Vietnam flashbacks.
It's fine.
Yeah. Guys, we're gonna go to a nice party.
Cheeto's gonna put a pin in that for later.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Not a thing.
Turn around, it's an Malkavian.
So anyway, Josephine, pulls you up on stage, asks you what sort of music you know.
A little bit of everything, as long as it can be played on a guitar.
Do you
Is he
know
going-
why my guitar gently weeps?
I was
Hold on.
I was gonna be like, I don't have that power. I was gonna look at Kyle and be like if they say while my guitar gently weeps, I'll like thumbs up to Kyle like. Beatles are big in Mexico.
Yeah, Beatles are big everywhere.
They're still big in Mexico.
They'll say, yeah, he's familiar with it.
Well, then she suggests y'all start off with that song.
Okay. Is she playing with him, or?
She's singing.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, now where did my... Shoot. I went and lost a book, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. It's probably not important right now. It's one of those things I might have needed. I thought it was right there in the... Oh well. So anyway, you start playing. Do you actually have a performance skill? I probably should have asked that ahead of time.
I do, yes.
Go ahead and give me a roll on that.
I also have a specialty in performance. In fingerstyle.
Oh, that's right. I think you mentioned that last week.
Yeah, so yeah, basically instead of just like doing like strumming, he like picks the strings individually, so he can sort of create an entire harmonic melody just playing by himself. 3. All right.
All right. How many did you get?
That ain't bad. That's 4 successes. 4 out of 6.
All right. Sorry about this. I forgot to have her stats pulled up before I. Nope. That's This makes great listening, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't actually sing while my guitar gently weeps. That's a bridge too far for us.
Because we can't sing, or because we just
Yes.
cut off by Twitch?
Because we would get. There are certain people who are more enforcing about their DMCA notices. The people who own the Beatles songs are them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that. Ooh, goodness, it's a lot of tens.
Any of those on the hunger dice?
No,
Oh yeah.
got a success on the Hunger Dice, but not a 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, she got 8 successes.
Okay.
She is quite the performer, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
It has absolutely no need of any sort of speaker systems.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is captivated. You see 1 or 2 people that, I mean, literally looking just flat out entranced.
Okay.
They're also very sharply dressed people.
Mm-hmm. Is this a multiple roll thing or just the one roll?
Just the one roll for the song.
Okay.
Even Patchy just kind of smiling. Or at least not frowning. Not frowning enough that it's almost like a smile.
Fair.
And while Kyle is putting on a good show, she is absolutely stealing the show.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't already collect Toreador. It's probably Toreador, yeah?
That's as good a guess as anything.
Now, Pageant's Ventru.
No. Josephine.
The woman singing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
That is abnormally good singing.
It is quite good singing. I mean, not like supernaturally good.
8 successes is probably supernaturally good.
But, best of her generation, maybe.
What generation that is? We don't know.
Zilla, maybe?
Hmm?
But there's a strong round of applause when the music's over.
Mhm.
Well played. Well played.
And up on stage, she compliments you quite a bit, Kyle.
Mm.
And then
Maybe
she
that's
lets you,
part of why I'm
then
here.
do another quick discussion, and y'all play some other song, and you do a set of 4 or 5 songs.
Want me to make another roll?
No.
Okay.
But when the performance is over, there's more mingling. August kind of, before you meet back up, get back with the guys. August makes its way over to Emma and Egidio. Oh, your friend is more multifaceted than I knew.
Yeah, Kyle's a complicated man. But very
Still
talented, as
waters run deep, I suppose.
absolutely. That idiom in
And while there's a little bit of partying that continues to go on, you notice the movers and shakers start kind of moving off to some side room.
moving and shaking. Um, but, as we're applauding, I look back to about where I heard that person make the comment about the warrior
Healer,
healer or
seeker,
whatever.
warrior.
Okay, yeah, you spot him. It's like I said, it's one of the 2 people from the Wallace barony, and they're both applauding.
I just make a note of
Okay, you
what
see what
they
the guy
look
looks like.
Mhm.
Kind of thin, kind of pale, but then everybody in the room's kind of pale.
Yep. Make a note to schmooze with them later.
As you see some of the other barons kind of disappearing, Rachel does come over and invite you to come with them.
Oh, we're gonna be in the room.
Oh yeah, well, it's Rachel like your barons now,
Ah,
either individually or cumulative or together.
cumulatively, we're barren.
You're the head of a baron. However, y'all divide yourselves up. Self rule and all that.
I think I would. Yeah, I would go. I just am making a mental note of that person. And yeah, I'll go.
Emma will come along.
Okay. This room has been set up like a conference room. You've actually got a conference table down the middle. There's a map of Decatur out on it. Your full barony is now marked, not just Kyle's bar. You get a closer look at it now, Emma, that you can see where the Princess Theater is marked. And then just a little bit down the street and around a corner is another building.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, the map marks it as the Opera House. Though you don't recall Decatur actually having an opera house.
Yeah, it might be a code name for it. She'll Google Maps it later.
So they sit down. Paget starts the proceedings. He starts by asking the barons of the outer baronies if they have had any upticks in violence. The 2 that are over kind of to the east, they haven't, but they've got all kinds of space between them and any of the Camarilla anyway. They have not noticed any major traffic coming through from from the north down into Decatur, and obviously nothing was coming out of Hartsel. where the guy across the river, there's been some goings on there. Nothing drastic, just an uptick of kindred he's not familiar with passing through. He has heard rumors of somebody from the Muscle Shoals area coming through the area, or coming to Decatur.
Egidio puts his hand up at that. Is that how we get attention? Sorry. Is this person's name Caleb?
Yes.
He was mentioned briefly in... We'll get to our thing in a little bit, I suppose. But he was mentioned briefly in our group.
I look forward to hearing the details.
Details is he's a Tremere. That's all we know.
Well, then the gentleman talking, the Baron of the North, just the North Barony that he called that.
North Wheeler?
No, this is the guy that's over across Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Like directly north of the city.
Oh, jeez. All right.
The park that Blackjack met those guys at that one time would be part of his. In fact, that was probably one of the guys you were talking to.
Good times.
Which means he knows Hippie Chick, but Emma doesn't know he knows Hippie Chick.
Yep.
But in here he goes into some other stuff. He's got eyes and ears up in Huntsville. There's some rumor milling up there of them possibly sending some help down, but he hasn't heard anything definitive. They're still kind of sorting out their things since the Nos Revolt, or whatever they want to call it. And they go around, the people, one of the guys from the Wallace Barony gives a little, report. Basically, all's quiet on the southern front. You've got a few gangrel. They give their reports of kind of the southwest, which I've pointed that area out to you before. It's not. It's technically in the city limits, but the city has not developed there at all. I mean, it's like anywhere else in the county outside. So pretty quiet. Not something the CAM are really all that concerned with at the moment. Then they get around to you.
As they get to us, I will blood surge my charisma, just in case.
Okay. At which point, Padgett is like, Miss Emma, if you could tell all of them what happened.
Oh, certainly. I'm sure you're all aware of the attack that took place. I was taken to the U-Haul location, and they were questioning me in regards to the Miss Page, as if they were not aware of them. So we've theorized that either they are not responsible for her, or someone else within their organization is and has not given those details. We eliminated the coterie there. They attempted to make contact with the gentleman named Caleb that you have mentioned, in regards to information that they obtained, which was just that we knew nothing. As far as I'm aware, Mr. Kyle and Mr. Gidio eliminated the gentleman before he could make that phone call. No information left the location. All of the bodies were disposed of or given final death, and we left the scene pursued by Camarilla from the hospital. We evaded them and gave our reports to the other gentleman.
And when you mention that, Robbins nods his head, kind of acknowledging.
Yeah, motion to Robbins if he's here.
And they ask you a few specific questions. They try to get what do these individuals look like. They're trying to pin down exactly who it was.
She'll be like, if I'm allowed to show the photos, I have no problem showing the photos. We took photos before we gave them final death, if possible.
You're just carrying that around in your phone?
It hasn't left my person. It has a key code that, if it isn't put in correctly after 2 times, it completely wipes itself.
No, most of them seem to be fairly reassured. The couple that aren't are probably not the tech savvy guys.
She'll show the pictures and, if anyone recognizes them. We did not have a photograph of the Nosferatu that was involved, but from what I understand, other people recognize them by description.
Robin speaks up because I think he was the one you gave the description to that knew who it was. Or maybe that was Paget later, I forget. But yes, she was a known quantity. None of them are particularly old or particularly powerful. The young Tremere, I don't think anybody necessarily knew. They're just kind of assuming he must have been somebody related to Caleb.
Yeah.
His vitae was fairly potent.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, I also flattened him against the floor with a motorcycle turn 1, so.
Mr. GDO, do you have anything to
add? Not necessarily related to our encounter with the Camarilla. However, I did perform the autopsy on the unfortunate victim. He says with like the most sarcasm ever in his voice. The unfortunate misses.
The person from the Wallace Center, or from the Wallace Barony, who identifies themselves as Barnes.
Barnes?
Graham Barnes.
Graham Barnes? Okay.
Yeah, just the dude's name.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody was telling me about that. You actually traveled down to Hartzell.
Yes.
And back out.
Yes. Nobody accosted me.
Everybody at the table is looking at you kind of interestingly at the moment. Really?
I know. I was a mortuary student, and I've worked in various forensic labs, and I know how to look the part.
Most of the time when one of us ventures down there, well, I won't say most of the time. There have been a lot of disappearances of kindred in that city, or in that town. We're not entirely certain from what, though.
I gave it a once over, even with our, powers, abilities, disciplines. Yeah, I don't know how vampire. And didn't seem to be anything supernatural. I will say I didn't give it a complete thorough looking, but at least within the morgue, nothing that I could personally find to be concerned about.
Very well. In the future, if you have need to venture down there, be careful.
We'll make a note of that.
And of course, if you happen to find out what would be causing these disappearances.
Natural. And then he'll give his report about the autopsy.
The blunt force trauma. Yeah.
Blunt force trauma, the one fracture in the skull, and multiple bruises.
And then, a debate. It sparks up a debate on whether, everybody's kind of asking everybody else, basically, you didn't set this woman up, did you? Not because they care, but because it just, they want to know.
Cover their bases.
Yeah. Just want to make sure it wasn't any of us.
Egidio will make sure to say also that because he, used Auspex, he will say that there didn't seem to be any supernatural as far as like blood sorcery in effect.
So and the debate shifts back and forth between, maybe it's an internal Camarilla, power struggle, especially if you're starting to have people from outside the city coming in. Caleb's trying to reestablish the Tremere.
Not unthinkable that they could be trying to infight to gain power.
Yeah, it certainly could be. They've been surprised, especially for Cam, been surprisingly good at staying united. In the face of us.
Weakens a potential obstacle on the way to power and distracts them, as well as reignites a war potentially.
Mm-hmm.
There is, from all accounts, a lot of infighting going on between them, trying to determine who's going to be at the top.
Yes,
by creating a scapegoat, as it were, thus reigniting the war between Anarch and Camarilla, it would, in theory, take all those disparate factions and unite them against a common enemy again.
One real quick thing. You guys mentioned the Nosferatu just up and left the Camarilla?
Not the clan as a whole. The Primogen in Huntsville, a Grandmother Dorcas. A long-time facet of Kindred Society in northern Alabama. Apparently went into revolt, at least against her prince. I don't think she was... We have no indication that she was trying to overthrow Camarilla rule. But she began ignoring many of their traditions. You can ask...
Racing.
Yes, I was about to say you could ask your friend Walter about some of that. We have several refugees from her madness, I guess.
Very surprising.
Oh, you're familiar with the Sabbat and their tactics?
Unfortunately.
Oh, of course. They're very active in Mexico.
Indeed.
Is there anything any of you would like to ask the other Barons?
Not really.
What are we doing as far as the sewers? Are we letting Kind take over it? Are we having an active hand in there? That's literally our, well, not our, but our shit.
There's a Nosferatu bear in prison who looks you up and down.
Have they found...
Have you ever actually been in the sewers?
No. Not yet. I'd like to visit my friend sometime if you would trust his. But no, I haven't. I haven't been in these sewers, I'll say.
But August speaks up. To answer your question, though, yes, we are mostly letting the mortals handle it. We have sent in some of our own people to clean out any
Good influence,
anything the kind don't need to run across.
of course.
But we will let them clean their own filth up. Yes.
Have we heard of this? What has happened to the Nosferatu that were in the sewers?
Rat's coterie.
Yes.
No, we have not. We've not found anything on any of them.
Did Rat have a particular means of contact?
Oh yes, he had numbers we could reach him at. Email addresses we could reach him at.
It goes without saying, then, of course, that it could be assumed that if they haven't been found, they could be captive. Any information they have
They could be
should
captive.
be
They could be
taken into
killed.
consideration.
Do those sewers lead into the hospital by any chance?
Up under the hospital, yes.
Hmm.
Now the area directly around, well, the hospital that you'd be concerned with, that area did not flood too badly.
Okay.
It wouldn't flood
mean-
their own area.
It did back up into the storm drains a little bit, but the storm drains didn't overflow like they did in some areas. It was flowing up on the streets in some places.
I see. I honestly think that should be our, not our as our united front, but I think that could be the a flooded sewer would definitely make for infiltrators who don't mind a little smell from the Camarilla to come in unnoticed.
Could just as easily walk.
The same Nos that spoke up earlier kind of drops his hand on the table. Not super loud, but that's brilliant. Why didn't we think of that? Did anybody else think that maybe we need to have people in the sewers watching? He seems to have a chip on his shoulder about you. Charisma or no charisma?
Fine.
Or maybe the charisma's causing it. Maybe you're just a little too slick for him. You and your fancy dress.
It's the fancy dress. Sure.
Is that
Fancy
cologne?
Non-disfigured.
Cologne is
Cologne?
yeah.
Talking about our sewers? You don't know anything about the sewers.
Have I done something to offend you?
I don't know, have you?
I don't think so.
You've been in town, what, 2 days and they give you a domain? At least Kyle's Gangrel. That's good stock.
Also lived here all my life too.
Mm-hmm. You dress like a Ventru. No friends, bad. Or a Toreador.
I am neither of those. Simply like to look nice for events. That's all.
Oh, that must be nice.
Isn't
I'm sorry.
going to help us. The Camarilla would love
Chip
to
on
see
your
us in
shoulder.
fight, and
Isn't going to, yes, going to help us find the rat coterie, which should be
Rat.
with the information they have, should be the priority.
Rat is the name of the single Nosferatu. It's
Rat's coterie.
Oh. I apologize.
Mhm.
But
August leans forward. Oh, don't worry. You haven't seen us fighting yet.
I am
This is
excited.
this is casual dinner conversation. But your point is well made.
can hate each other and go to each other's throats after stuff has been dealt with.
I agree to that. Like siblings. Fight each other, but we fight everyone else harder.
You get kind of a round of yes, harumph. Even the Nosferatu kind of gives you a nod there. Okay, yeah. August speaks up. Well, speaking of fighting everyone else, perhaps we should formulate something of a plan. But before he can get any further, you hear obvious sounds of gunfire.
Nearby?
Yes, quite close by.
If
Not
I hear
not
it-
necessarily in the building with you or like right outside the
Okay.
door. But
Right.
I still have heightened senses up, so
Out of
it
place,
probably
but
stings a little bit, but also
Eh,
in addition to the gunfire, you can pick out the sound of glass shattering.
mhm.
that sounds like it's within here.
Right.
That's probably the lobby doors and like the front windows.
That sounds like a raid.
I'm rolling 3 rouse checks.
Okay.
I succeed on 2, fail on 1, so I'm at hunger 2. I
He's
have
going into battle
put.
mode.
Yeah.
buffing up.
Yeah. Blood surge into strength. Potence is active. And feral weapons are engaged.
Okay.
Egidio will just actually one moment. I remember what this is. Shadow cloak. So whatever shadows are in here just kind of wrap around him.
The Nos does not look happy about that. He's got a look on his face like, this mother.
At least I have silence of death and not like something obvious that I have obfuscate.
Or at least something akin to it.
And I will start sneakily going up to investigate the sound.
Well, I imagine many people are starting to do that.
They're doing it quickly. I'm doing it stealthily.
The Nosferatu fades from view.
Emma's just vibing. She's a little bit more alert and aware of what's going on, but she doesn't have anything that's going to help in this particular situation as of right now.
So y'all rush out into the theater area. People are rushing back out from the lobby, rushing down. You see one Kindred holding his shoulder, and something under his hand is clearly smoldering.
Emma will head towards them.
I got 7 successes on my hide.
Okay, you get over to him. You know, he's moving deeper in the building. Like he's trying to get away from whatever it was.
She'll follow them. Like, hold on, I lead the way, but I can help. And she'll try and see what the injury is as she's moving.
He takes his hand down, and you look at it. It looks like a bullet wound, but like something is smoldering and smoking a little bit in there.
Yeah, but she'll definitely be away from the main fight then, so you can carry on with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kyle will just guitar off, puts it around Emma's shoulders.
Hold this.
Okay. Like, loops her hand through it so it isn't, like, just hanging there.
basically like he put
Strap.
it on her back the way it was on his.
Yeah, but she like loops a hand through the strap, so it's not just hanging. Yeah, securing it more.
Yeah.
All right. You said you were Eric. You said Kyle was rolling 3 rouse checks for what?
Yep. Blood surge, activating potence, and feral weapons.
Okay.
2 of those checks succeeded, 1 failed, so I'm at hunger 2.
All right. So as you run, and Egidio, you're kind of following, but you're being slower and more,
I'm-
hugging the walls.
And I'll have my pistol just ready to go.
Okay.
It's just a 9mm.
Kyle, as you burst into the lobby,
Mm-hmm.
you see a kindred, one of the guys you saw in the lobby when you came in.
Mm-hmm.
In biker leathers, taking multiple shots to the chest. The guns that are firing, there's little jets of flame.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dragonfire rounds.
Roth's pistol.
And yeah,
Mhm.
you recognize it as some sort of incendiary rounds, clearly. And, Scuttlebutt and Kindred Community Dragonfire rounds are talked about regularly because, they're dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there's 6 or 7 kind.
Mm-hmm.
Because, some of them are sweating, some of them are breathing heavy.
Yeah.
They're coming through the doors. You're not sure how many more might be outside. This is just what you
Right.
see right in front of you. And they seem to be just shooting at anything that moves.
There's
a couple of other kindred that are down. There's 1 or 2, probably ghouls, since they're laying there actually kind of bleeding out like normal.
Yeah. He's gonna engage. He's diving into the fray.
Okay.
You will provide covering fire.
All right. One second. I really thought that would find me what I needed. Oh well. All right. So that's what you see when you burst through the door. You said you were just diving towards the nearest one?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going for him. He's going to try to shoot you.
Cool.
I will fire at Kyle's target.
Okay. Let me find the.
Especially if I see dragonfire rounds or some sort of Rothfuss pistol.
Antagonists. Mortal antagonists. There we go.
What's a mortal? It's not even a waste of fucking ammo then.
Uh-huh.
Well, no, that means your ammo can actually take them out.
Yep.
Make a note as more than mortal though.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna get ripped up. I'm taking that.
Okay, here we go. I don't have to worry about hunger dice for them. Alright, so Egidio, roll your shot. Kyle, make your roll. He'll make his.
Uh-huh.
Do I get any bonuses because I rolled 7 successes on my hide?
No.
Okay.
He'll have to make a check to see if he can figure out where that bullet came from.
Okay.
Assuming he survives the onslaught here.
So this is firearms and dexterity for me?
Yes. Oh, you poor.
Poor
He got-
bastard.
He got 1 success.
Good for him.
He's shooting at Kyle as Kyle dives at him, of course.
Shit, my dice flew. That was my hunger dice. Okay. I got 3 successes.
All right, your shot goes off first.
Okay. So you got 1 success?
He got 1 success.
So 7 reduced to 6 plus 2 for 8.
Okay, so that's 8 successes.
I will be right back.
Plus, Egidio had what now?
3 successes. I don't recall off the top of my head how much a standard pistol does.
Sorry, I forgot. I had blood surged.
Oh yeah.
Still 8. Both those dice failed.
Did you pop your murder hands?
I did, yes.
Okay. So that ignores any armor he might have had. And he does not look like he's wearing like a whole. They're not in like a
Yeah.
flak vests or anything. Or
Well,
riot
with
gear.
with my lethal body passive for potence, I automatically ignore 2 points of armor anyway. That's before feral weapons even come into play.
Okay. Then yeah, you tore through you just tear into this guy. This guy's dead by the time he hits the ground.
Next target.
Well, while he got to shoot, everybody else in his squad gets to shoot too.
Yeah.
You know, the rest of them get to have their oh my god, he killed Kenny moment.
Fair.
All right, that is 2 successes on Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
And where's the weapons chart? Weapon damage. Plus 3. So that is 5.
I think that's if my defense doesn't.
Oh yeah,
go
what is
past
your
it.
defense?
Well, what am I rolling?
Let's see.
If I'm rolling the same stat that I rolled to attack, then
this would be.
I can just re-roll this fat stack of dice I got here.
All right, let me pull up a sheet.
Mm.
All right, give me dexterity and probably athletics. Let me look and make sure there's nothing else. Yeah, athletics.
Okay. I got 2 successes.
Okay.
So
that is 3. Because he had a total of.
Well, the way the plus works is if they beat it, then the plus gets added. It's the same.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's the same thing for feral weapons. Like if I beat them, then I get the plus 2.
Okay, so he had 2 dice. Or he had not 2 dice. He had 2 successes on his dice. You had 2. That's a tie to the player. All right, so he missed. The next guy gets. He gets a crit. So we got a total of 5 on the dice.
I got 3.
Okay, so that's 2 that hits plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 5 points of damage.
Okay. Halved.
Dragon's breath. It's aggravated.
Okay. Fair enough.
And then one more is shooting at you, while the rest of them are like shooting at. There's multiple. They're in a target-rich environment at the moment.
Yeah.
These are the two closest to the guy you killed that are shooting at you. Or three that are closest to him.
Wait, Dragon's Breath rounds don't give a bonus to damage.
They just make it aggravated.
The weapon itself still gives its bonus.
Gotcha. Okay.
The dragon's
Yeah.
Dragon's Breath rounds don't add anything to that. It just makes it aggravated.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Last guy got 6.
Good lord.
Yeah, I keep rolling ends.
Yeah, well, unless I crit, Kyle's dead.
He's in torpor.
And probably on fire. Yeah, no, he's in torpor. Kyle's down.
Kyle goes down.
Then if I see that, I will start firing more.
Okay. What is there? Your stealth thing, how does that affect if you start firing a gun?
Question: It doesn't deactivate. That's something like Silence of Death or like an obfuscate power, but shadows are still like on me.
Okay.
I can reposition somewhere else and fire, and they won't know strictly where it's coming from.
But they can fire in the direction that the shot came from.
Yes, they can do that.
All
Truthfully, it might function better to use this as like a cover versus like, trying to pick shots. If that makes sense.
All right. Next up. So you're shooting at one of them shooting at you.
Yep. Spend super point willpower. Reroll 3. That's better. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Okay, and let me roll to see. How many of them spot you? Okay. Only the guy that you were shooting at, he sees the flash and shoots in that direction.
Sure.
So he got 3 dice, or 3 successes rather.
I got 4 6.
Okay. So he misses you, you hit him.
I'm gonna keep doing it. Only ever stopping to like reload, and the only time I'll ever like actually reposition is to get like reload. But they do see muzzle flare, obviously.
Yeah. While you're doing that, you're shooting, you're engaging with this one guy. You see the denumerator. I'm blanking on his name.
Dave.
He comes in, gun out, and he's using a gun like somebody that's trained on how to use a gun.
Yep.
He's taking cover. And he's got some other flunkies with him that are, engaging. So you and this guy are taking another shot at each other.
Yep.
And what is the plus on your gun?
It's just a regular gun. I do not know the plus off the top of my head.
Okay. There's a weapon. I've got the weapons cheat sheets.
Okay, so it's just like a regular 9mm pistol.
9mm pistol is a +3.
Okay, so I have dealt. That first guy just fucking died. But if I have a 1 success differential, that was 4 damage. Because I'm understanding that.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, you hit him, opposite, opposite shoulder of his main arm. There's a lot of blood. There's a wound there.
And then as I fire this one, I am repositioning towards to like pull Kyle, to get closer to pull Kyle.
Okay, you can get to him, no problem.
Yeah. All right. I got 4 successes again.
He got 2. So yeah, you
It's
pop
7
another
dice.
couple rounds into him, he goes down.
Okay, and then I'll pull Kyle like over to, like if there's like a battle line, I'm pulling Kyle away from it.
Well, you could pull him back through the door, back into the out of the
Yes.
lobby, and back into the.
Yes,
Back
yes,
near
yes.
where back near where your healer went.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Now I'll at the very least get him in and around.
okay. Do you yell for your healer, or do you even know she does that?
No, doesn't know do that.
Okay.
Maybe just be like, hey, keep an eyeball on him.
If I see
Make sure no one eats him.
If I see Dave, I was like, he's down.
Dave's a little busy to respond.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying it out loud as he will have said it much louder. He'll be like, he's down, Dave, and I'll just like bring him around, and that'll be my turn.
Emma, give me a wits awareness.
This ain't gonna go good. I gotta put numbers in awareness. 1.
You think you hear a GDO say something about somebody being down?
If she's made sure that guy's like not bleeding out,
Well, he's a
She
kindred.
will
He's not going to
turn.
breathe out.
Yeah.
but
be like, you're
maybe
good.
you
You're good.
maybe you pulled some tweezers out and actually pulled the bullet out of him, so it's not
Oh, yeah.
smoldering on him anymore.
Or even just like reached in and pulled it out.
Probably not a good idea.
Psst.
Put on a pair of gloves or something.
Well, they don't burn forever, so you know.
Yeah, it's
They
not
burn
constantly
for
on
a
fire.
while.
She'll put on gloves or something and just bite down on something that's not me and pull it.
Right down on him. Hearing him while you're taking his blood.
But yeah, then if you look over there, you see a GDO pulling Kyle.
Words that probably never heard Emma say said, and she will go over and attempt to drag further back.
He looks bad.
Yeah, Torport's bad. She's just trying not to do this out in front of everybody.
You know, nobody's really paying attention to you.
Yeah, great. She's gonna find like pull around a corner.
Okay. Well, or into like the seating area, so there's seats around you. Think of it kind of like
Yeah.
a movie theater where it's sloped down.
Yeah. Blood surge. Can I add? She already has 5 in intelligence. Could blood surge add more?
I think so. I
Yes.
think it adds on top of.
That's what
Yeah,
we
like
did last
2.
time we played Vampire
Yep.
anyway.
Like when Kyle surges, his strength goes to 6.
So it adds 2 additional dice, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool. Rolling the rouse check for that. Fantastic.
All right. And which ability are you using? 'Cause
She's gonna use Valerin.
okay.
I'll link it in the thing.
I've got the companion pulled up here. Though for everybody else.
Yeah.
I actually have all the books on Debbie playing. That one.
I don't know how well it translates over, but here we go. Five successes. Difficulty is a 2.
Okay.
The additional dice go into healing aggravated damage.
Well, that's good because that's what he needs healed.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the V1.
Valoran, yeah.
Valerin.
I do not like how they have this stuff organized. Let's see.
It's under fortitude.
That's right. That's right. All right. So yeah, 1 rouse check.
If we wanted to say she takes the entire scene to do this, it would reduce the difficulty to 0.
Is that what you're doing?
What would the entire scene be? Like the length of the gunfight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd
Okay.
only be able to heal 1 aggravated, if I'm reading that right.
Still gets him up. If I do it the whole scene, though, that gives all 5 dice into that.
Yeah, it's 1 aggravated per 3 success.
Still gets him up, I believe.
You could do 2 superficial One aggravate if it works that way. You have to just
Yeah.
you have to clear the track. Something we can figure out next.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to completely heal my health track in order to get out of torpor.
It just means Emma's working on him every night to speed that up.
Yep.
Well, I auto make a roll every night to make a rouse check.
Mm.
But
Oh yeah, you do that. But she could also be adding to that with her stuff each night.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're working on him. At GDO, you don't know what she's doing, but she's clearly doing something.
Is he?
Yeah. Other stuff's going on.
Do you stay with her and guard her, or do you go back into the fray?
I will have provided covering fire to get her out, like safely, and then I am going back in and firing. I will find another cozy corner and fire.
All right. Let me see if he spots you. He does not. Well, unless you critically failed or something.
No, I got 3 successes.
Okay. So 3 plus the 3 for your gun, that's 6. I think that takes him out.
But just coming in from the shadows, just having just that little bit that peeks out, get him in the head. Because I have enough time to.
So the fight quickly starts going in your favor. When Dave showed up, he showed up with people that knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
As far as gunfights go.
I will
probably
make it a
trained
point-
security guys.
I'll make it a point to go grab that one guy's pistol that was clearly fucking up Kyle.
If you see any more pistols like that, grab those too. Cool.
In the last little bit of the fight, you saw a couple of Dave's people take hits and shrug it off like they normally would. Like there's no smoldering or anything.
Mm. Well, that one person that was fighting Kyle, however.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I'll snag.
But nobody else shoots at you during the rest of the fight because Dave and his people are engaged and visible.
Yep.
So nobody really realizes that one extra shot that keeps going off. The last couple of guys try to run, but they get snagged and drugged back in. The Barons, well, the main two at least, quickly kind of take charge. They're getting people cleared out. They're going into kind of spin or control.
Spin mode.
Protect the masquerade mode. Because the Camarilla tends to have more influence over the police in town than they do. Josephine seems to be absolutely furious.
So the question is, anarchs have equivalent of a harpy?
Probably her.
Yeah, I was gonna say she sounds like she's like the anarch harpy.
She probably kind of is. I don't know if that's really an official position, but
yeah.
She is going off on that Toreador guy that she pointed out as an emissary, Camarilla emissary. And several other people are around her, have him kind of backed up against a wall, and he is swearing up and down he doesn't know anything about this. The princess in the opera house were supposed to be off limits. Nobody on the cam side wants, these historical spots. It's like the old bank. We don't want to wreck, the old history.
Do they have him somewhere like that's where I could hear that?
Yeah. He's declaring it quite loudly.
Yeah. I like to make an insight.
Okay.
What attribute am I rolling? Or, yeah, what attribute am I rolling?
All right. What are you trying to pick up on?
I want to know if he's dealing in more than he's leading on. He knows more than he's leading on.
Let's go manipulation
Perfect.
and
Insight's a literal skill.
oh yeah, inside thing. Yeah, there it is.
Can I re-roll that? Motherfucker. 1 success. 2 successes, sorry.
He seems to be pretty firmly in just cover my ass, mode.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he seems honestly bewildered, as
Okay.
as shook up as everybody else.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to see if his temperature is rising, but because he's a kindred, right?
Yes.
So, okay.
Uh,
Kindred still have tells, but sure.
well,
As
depending
far
on
as
how
I
old
can
they
tell,
are
he's
and how
telling the
good they are.
truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually, some of the Barons people kind of take him to the back. Everybody's being ushered out, as quickly as possible before the police get here.
Be like, help me get him into my car.
I'm on it.
Are you confident to drive his motorcycle?
Am I confident to drive his motorcycle?
Yes.
Can drive. Everyone can drive. It's just a matter of can I drive in a firefight? Probably not.
I don't think that's going to be an issue tonight.
You
Let's
don't.
get back to the bar. I have a feeling they're going to be concentrating here for a little while. At least that's what Emma's thinking.
I know
There's-
I know where he keeps it. I'll leave it.
I'll meet you there. There is blood coming down from under the hat. As whenever they use a power, the eye starts bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You good?
You gotta
Yeah,
save it.
fantastic. Fantastic. We'll talk about this back at the bar. He has
Okay.
somewhere we can stash him, probably.
I'm sure he has a under somewhere.
He's got an office.
Yeah, we don't know
Ooh.
about the.
We know the office. I'm saying we don't know about his underrooms. When I'm saying that as a kindred who has an underroom, probably has an underroom somewhere. Yeah, well,
I'll figure it out.
All right, so y'all race away along with everybody else, as police sirens are starting to be heard not too far in the distance. But luckily, opposite of the way y'all are leaving, or y'all are headed.
Yep.
You get back to the bar without incident. I guess you could fish through Kyle's pockets and find the keys to the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Probably be on the same keychain as the key for his bike.
I would have it then, and I'll make sure to put his bike somewhere before I deign to break into his bar with his own keys.
So y'all get him back, and I guess in his office.
The only concern is employees work here. She's saying this while they're at the office, just because,
Well, it's beyond closing time.
Yes, but there's always tomorrow. He's fucked up, man.
It's gotta have some kind of downstairs.
You saw how good he's secures his computer. Do you think we're just gonna find it on a cursory glance?
I can take him to my haven.
Ooh, got a torport vampire be possessed. Alright, what are y'all doing?
We need a neutral ground.
I have one. I will text text Dave. Need a spot. To lay low. Got anything?
You have an entire, kind of busy. You have an entire domain.
And all
Find
of her
some-
driving
Find somewhere
around,
to hide.
has she seen any? Well, no, a house for sale wouldn't be good.
You do have like 3 hotels in the northern part of the city,
True.
or northern part of your domain.
Trying to sneak a body in there though.
Dude, we can.
Arm over the shoulder, weekend at Bernie's him.
Yep.
Oh, he is drunk off
Same
his
for
ass.
himself.
Also covered in blood.
And smoldering.
And
And-
smoldering.
Because
Well,
he tanked
Emma has probably
several-
picked most of that stuff out.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
tanked a lot of Inferno rounds.
Yeah,
That's
she's
true. We'll get him to
Would Walter? Can we say Walter maybe knew somewhere, or I don't know.
You could call Walter. He could probably find somewhere in the storm drain to stash him.
Yeah, we'll just hang out in the storm drains for a day.
that's totally fine.
Since Kyle doesn't have to worry about wounds getting infected or anything.
It's gonna take a lot longer than a
That is-
day.
Oh,
We can
really?
start it a day.
This may
Yeah,
be
it's
our
gonna
first. This may be our first little time skip.
Oh, that's the thing is, at minimum, absolute minimum, it's gonna take at least 3 days.
Mhm.
If he's helped with Valerian every single night.
I mean, yeah.
Well, we will start up with that next time then, because
Oh boy.
we will wrap
Yeehaw.
here for the evening. I hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it.
Can I say that would there be a way to contact either of the barons that they had given them?
Yeah, all the barons would have ways of contacting one another. Trying to get in touch with them right this very night.
Yeah, no.
Probably have to wait till the next day because they're gonna be busy.
She'll still send something out and be like, "This is Emma. If you would be able to get me in contact with the individual we discussed, I would greatly appreciate it." And she'll leave it at that because
Okay, that's fair. Seems fair enough.
Mm.
But yeah, now I'm cutting us off here. Hope y'all had fun. I had fun. I hope anybody that came by and watched enjoyed it. Hope anybody that comes by and listens or watches later. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us next week. If you're in the mood for more actual plays, there's of course more of them on Dire Bear. Schedule should be below. At least if you're watching this on Twitch.
Yep,
we're in Discord.
Oh yeah, if you're in the Discord, that's a good way to keep up with it. Anyway, until next week, then we will see y'all later.
Bye.